Hello, film friends, friends of film, and everyone in between. Welcome to the Film Folklore Podcast. I am Jed Props, and I am joined today by Zoe Props.
Hello.
No relation. Chris AD.
Hey.
Distant cousin. And, of course, Justin Sound.
Hello.
Distant cousin on the other side. All right, would you believe it? Joe is not here today. Shocking. He was, however, spotted on muleback with Phil McCracken in the Grand Canyon. Not sure if it was one mule shared or two, but who cares? All right. All that said, we are back with another Tea Time at the Rumor Mill. And today we're going to get into some Disney shenanigans.
Rumor has it. I'll sing a song every time.
And we try to guess who it is.
What y'all can't see because we're audio is one of Zoe's perfect eyebrows definitely peaked when I said Disney shenanigans.
Yeah, those people are freaks. They're great.
And you know what? Let's go ahead and just get side railed immediately. Long short, I was dating a girl whose best friend was one of those Disney freaks you might be alluding to. She had a princess room, like a pink princess room. And this is...
Run, dude.
Well, that's...
And it wasn't made for her as like a baby.
This is like a 24-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so...
Man.
She was very nice, but the moment I learned that, and just exactly what Chris said, it was like, run. But she ended up meeting and ultimately being with a guy who was into Civil War reenactments, and somehow it made sense. So hopefully they're still together, because that was math's not so good. 50-ish years ago, Zoe. So we'll see.
I'm pulling a face. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It's scary. I don't, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. So even though listeners can't see the title, or they can see the title, but you guys can't, but I bet you'll have a good idea where we're going today when I ask you, what are some examples of subliminal messages you've come across? It could be Disney. It could be anything.
Penis. In Disney, they're just another little bit.
Wow, that is the vaguest answer to penises in general, right?
Yeah,
they're just always subliminal.
But
Yeah, they're just dicks all over the place.
The only one that I remember from childhood is The Lion King. This is the thing in the clouds, and I thought it was, I forget what it said, but it was like fuck or just some curse word or something.
That's one of the ones today.
I remember the Aladdin. Fuck. I remember rewinding with my
guess
friends.
what?
It's good teenagers take off their clothes.
That's another one today.
yeah, I
Ooh,
remember
y'all
that.
doing good.
Yeah.
it's not really subliminal. This is a thing. I mean, I guess it is. I gotta look at the definition of subliminal, but it's like in plain sight. The FedEx logo. There's the arrow that like in between the V and the X. That was like once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Oh,
It's totally there. I'll pull it up.
IHOP, dude.
All you guys
There's
at
a smile.
home, you're just gonna have to.
The one I put.
What film are you talking about, Chris?
No.
It's not a film.
Not a film.
It's just FedEx.
It's
Yeah,
called
like,
FedEx the
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
It's about a package that's being delivered
There's
for
a
an
ball.
hour and a half.
The arrow
They made
goes
that
straight in the
movie.
trash.
They made that movie. The
They did make that
Castaway.
movie. Yeah. It's Castaway.
There's not a lot of dialogue. It's really just the package on like a conveyor. Then it's in a truck.
Yeah. But you see
Yeah.
that arrow?
Yeah.
In the E and the X?
Oh yeah.
And it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Never not double negative. Going to be able to see that again.
Thank
Not
you.
see that.
Yeah.
The one that I had thought of when I was putting this together is the naked man standing in the Camel cigarettes. I put that picture in here.
What?
It's a side by side. I can post it.
You know how I feel about naked men.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a stretch.
Back in the 90s, this was revealed to me as I was a Camel smoker, and now I can't unsee it. There's supposedly another hidden image in it, but that's the one that I could always see after I saw it. After it was pointed out to me, I mean. Oh, what?
I love how they,
You're going to look at your camels?
I was like, is this still there?
Yeah.
I always loved the Wayne's World bit where they go off and they do the little advertisements in the middle of the show.
Where they paid for the entire movie.
Yeah.
Nuprin, little,
Yellow.
Different.
Not subliminal.
Yeah. It's like sometimes people do stuff to get paid, and that's wrong. He's like in the top to bottom Reebok outfit.
But I guess that's another thing. Like, I mean, I always thought that subliminal messaging was meant for advertising sort of thing.
There is a whole thing that we do not have to go into because I would have to go do a lot of research for it. But there was a whole thing in the 60s, I want to say, where a lot of companies were experimenting with subliminal advertising. And if I remember correctly, they ultimately found that it didn't really seem to make much of a difference. And so we can all be thankful for that, because otherwise that'd be a little fucked up that companies are like, we're just going to trick people subliminally into liking our products. Like, I don't know why Chris likes to eat Tide Pods, but he saw him in a commercial and misunderstood it.
Look at him, he's foaming at the mouth right now. His eyes are bleeding.
Yeah.
No, that's just because my kidneys are failing.
Because I looked at that arrow for too long.
But yeah, there is all kinds of examples of subliminal messages, such as Zoe's general mention of penis. I'm still not following that one.
I don't know. I just thought they were all over the place. Disney, right?
Why are most subliminal messages penises?
I mean, when you said
He
it,
sees what you sees.
I just thought of a guy with his pants down going like, that's not subliminal. But anyway,
They got that scene in Fight Club too, where he slices in that penis in the film.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I'm getting an "I told you so" look from Zoe right now. All right, I take back what I said. Drop trow, and it's just simply dropping hints.
Walt Disney, Frozen, anti-Semite, love dicks.
Yeah.
Love them.
He's probably got a boner frozen.
I hope so.
It'd be weird. Honestly, it'd be weird if he didn't.
I
It'd be
would
weird
agree.
if they froze him without a boner.
Here's the thing.
How are you
though.
supposed to pay
Though,
homage?
even if he didn't have a boner, it's still going to be real hard because it's frozen.
Also, is this a good time to reveal that Walt Disney's real name was Walt Hyam Disneyberg?
No.
You're
No.
right, it's not.
Yeah. What? No.
No, he was legitimately anti-Semite.
Yes, he was.
Sweet stash. So you guys did a great job actually there naming two of the three that we're going to cover today. What are any other ones y'all can think of that are Disney specific?
That's it. Those are my ones.
So there's at least 22 that I was able to come across. We're only going to talk about 3 today because let's milk this bad boy. But the 3 that we're going to cover today are all from the late 80s, early 90s. And these are including phallic symbols. That one's for you, Zoe. Naughty whispers and cloud messages. So there we go. So let's get into it. Disney has long been accused by the public of their animators and post-production hiding often sexual messages in their movies. And Disney, of course, as you would imagine, has denied all of this and excused away each accusation, in which, like I just mentioned, there's at least 22 that I have found so far. So, this is going to be a little difficult because as we are an audio podcast, we're going to discuss 2 things that are visual and one thing that's an audio clip. And I'm going to try and have the audio clip here, which is going to allude to the one Zoe was talking about. So the first one that I want to bring up is the palace, the sea castle in Little Mermaid. And you can see right on the poster for the movie, right there in your face like a large cock, it is what certainly appears to be a penis. I'm going to let y'all discuss and judge. And of course, we'll post this. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Is it just coincidence, or is that just a glaring one-eyed Willy, if you will?
Man, I don't know. Yeah, there's dicks all over the place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
microphone kind of looks like a dick. Everything, you know what I mean?
Any column, yeah. I mean, I'm seeing, because I'm a spelunker, of course, a stalagmite. But
If
I mean,
it's-
like, if you want to see a dick, sure, you
Yeah.
can see a dick.
You're gunts to see one. My thing is, if it is attached to a human, I'm like, all right, that dude's got a boner.
Yeah.
And that is his penis. But just something, I mean, listen, what, fuck, I want to say that, you know, where Thor lives in the movies, the Marvel
Yeah.
movies, and they go and they show his little
Asgard?
place where he lives. Yeah, Asgard is filled. It's penisy as shit. When you look at it,
the Asgard is filled with penises.
it is. It is. So, and nobody's
Wait.
talking about that.
Did you see the Marvel movie or the porn?
I think. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of dudes in a place called Asgard.
That one was called "Put It in My Ass."
Yeah, I thought it was weird. They were having a lot of sex for a Marvel movie.
I'm just saying, when you show Asgard for the first time, I was like, that is so penisy on
Yeah.
Thor's got
On
quite a
Asgard.
hammer.
Thor fucking Iron Man seemed very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. So this dick on the cover of Little Mermaid, I'm like, pishesh, kinda.
I think Chris made a good point too, is that once it's been suggested that it's kind of like, yeah, if you want it to be a penis, it's a
If
penis.
you want it to be, I mean, sure.
Yeah. Frankly, like the camel image, I'm like, you squint your eyes, somebody just kind of drew something around it. Doesn't look like shit, you know?
Boy, phrasing, we're talking about penises right now.
All right.
I mean, here's my thing: if it's a penis, and like Chris mentioned earlier, we're dealing with Walt Disney here, anti-Semite. I might go too far here, but this.
Are you about to talk about the fact that it's circumcised?
It's circumcised. I don't think he would have that. But what my eyes are
Isn't that
more
just a
drawn
standard
to
thing, though? I
Is
don't
this Sea Palace had a bris?
what my eyes are more drawn to are the hamburgers covering the palace.
That's true.
There's like 4 of them.
And again, once you said hamburger, now I see hamburger.
All I see is hamburgers.
Oh yeah.
Also, why is why am I blanking? Is it Titan? Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
And
Why-
frankly,
it looks
throw
like
a
he's in and out. Sorry, it looks like he's like trying to reach his own daughter in a very like creepy way.
he's upset with her.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Zoe,
She
go
listen.
ahead.
Oh, just mermaid genitalia to begin with. I fucking hate mermaids. I just like to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I think that they're bullshit. Their hair would not be that flowing. and
Unless they're
beautiful.
black, right?
It would be crap. You know what I mean? It would be all seaweed and tangly,
Like
shitty.
Pirates of the Caribbean mermaids.
Yeah, they'd be just
Like nasty,
yeah.
murderous.
Yeah. They don't have penises. Is it like a Shape of Water type situation? Remember, they describe his penis and what it does. We don't have to. But anyway,
Here's some fun.
I
Glorifying
get
sea
bothered
witches.
by mermaids
Do y'all know?
and mermaid genitalia.
Did you, or lack thereof?
Or like they're confusing.
Do y'all know what animals were mistaken for mermaids by seafarers once upon a time?
Manatees.
Manatees,
Yeah.
exactly. Have you been at sea that long that you're like, check out that lady over there with the, she kind of got a big butt, I suppose, but
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a manatee.
If you're checking out
AKA
a
sea cow.
if you're getting like amorous, you're fucked. Like, I would rather have
Body
scurvy
positivity.
real bad.
I was about to
y'all.
say, you clearly have a vitamin C deficiency going on if you think that manatee is hot.
Body positivity, but I mean like sea cow. I mean, I don't know.
Body positive.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry they don't look like Little Mermaid. This beautiful bitch.
I just thought of something worse than your circumcision thing. Because
jokes.
Ursula's a squirter.
Oh. Yeah, that's
hate
not
it here.
getting cut.
I fucking hate it here.
Disney can't sue us, right? Oh
What
god.
are they gonna do?
I mean, what if we really said that's wrong? We're speculating about
Yeah.
something that may or may not be true. And even with that horrible thing I just said, she is an octopus and she does have an ink moment. So,
I think we'll have to go pull our Disney paperwork at some point.
or, Bob's here. Let's just say, hey, Bob, you fucking prick. What do you think? Speechless again.
Typical.
He's so good at not wearing ties. How
Dead.
original.
Frozen.
Frozen. Isn't that a Disney movie? I don't know.
Yes.
That's what I was. I
terrible,
thought you were
terrible.
talking about earlier, and then I realized Walt Disney actually froze himself.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and then, yeah. So let's see. Zoe, you said you're not going to read anything.
Yeah, no.
So
I can't read either.
Justin, do you want to? Well, I'll say this first, and then Justin, if you want to read the next part. But I mean, so the rumor was that a disgruntled Disney artist sought revenge on the company by drawing a castle spire in the shape of a male sex organ, aka a penis. Justin, you want to read that next part?
Oh, yeah. Okay. One of the castle spires in the background of The Little Mermaid promotional artwork bears an unmistakable resemblance to a penis. So much so that many people are unwilling to dismiss the drawing as a mere accident or coincidence. Rumors started circulating shortly after the release of the videocassette edition of The Little Mermaid that the phallic object had been deliberately drawn as a last act of defiance by a disgruntled Disney artist who was miffed at being notified that he would be laid off at the conclusion of the project.
And then somehow that thing got all the way to the public without nobody noticing anything.
Is it still on the like the DVDs and things like that?
I mean,
You know what I mean?
they may have gone and done like a dumb ET thing where they replace the guns with walkie-talkies and then everyone hates it. I don't know. But yeah, it was gross, right?
Yeah.
Lucas is his own worst enemy. So y'all are going to start to notice a theme here as we get further into these, because there's a common denominator on who is fanning the flames of these rumors, and it'll make sense, but we'll get to it. So anyway, we're going to go to the next one, which is our audio clip. Hilariously, I took a still of the moment you hear it, which is not helpful at all, because it's supposedly coming from Aladdin, who is off camera, supposedly. But I have it here. Let me pull this up.
Because I was looking at that picture and I was like, I don't see it. What am I looking at?
Could be any of 800 stills in that.
In my mind, I was like, okay, maybe the curtains could be labia. What
When you
That's what I was thinking. And I was like, all right, so the blue
and Jasmine's going peekaboo.
I guess that's the clitoris. And
She's a child birthing. Is that what's happening?
I just didn't know.
So the only thing that's kind of funny about it is what the line is being confused as saying. Her expression.
Her expression is her eyebrows like, what?
Like, am I hearing this right? So anyway, let's see if this works. I'm gonna do this here. Let's see. It's gonna take a minute.
Leave me alone.
How's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Take off. Down, keep.
Wait.
And you're gonna get to hear it again. I'm gonna turn it down a little.
How's our little bow doing? Come on, good. Take off.
Yeah, I just heard it. Yeah.
Come on, good. Take off.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard it.
So, supposedly, purportedly, allegedly, it is Aladdin off camera saying, "Good teenagers, take off your clothes." I don't know. What do y'all think?
Have you? So I was I came across a clip recently of the guy who did Aladdin's voice and the person who did Jasmine's voice, and there's like the
And
singing.
they're the same person, right?
You know what I mean? And they're doing it and they're harmonizing, and I'm like, I don't really believe who got the drawings. Okay, sure, some asshole,
Right.
but I'm like, what? This actor, this voice actor, come on. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
maybe Justin, this is a good question for you. I mean, like, this is a recording that would have to get through a lot of things to make it to the final.
Yeah, a lot of people gotta get ears on this before it
Yeah.
gets to the final piece. But I mean, it could if the engineer, the recording engineer that was that recorded those lines was in on it. If he was in on the plot.
What's the minimum number of people that would have to be in on this for it to be real?
Oh gosh. I mean, the minimum would be the actor and the sound engineer, and then the sound engineer would have to mask it well enough to where nobody else down the line would hear that, right? Or it would sound like this to where it would be indiscernible.
That's interesting, because I like to imagine there's a universe where the actor and the sound mixer were like handshake deal going on. What should I say? I don't know. Say something dirty.
Some shit.
I'm also curious as to what this the script exactly said, or if he was ad-libbing, because that also that thing of when you're listening to a bunch of audio and they're saying specific words, and if you're reading the word, you'll hear one thing, but if you're reading another word, you'll hear that. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I'm fucking even explaining that well, but how we're gonna hear it if we're told that it's there.
Yeah.
But if I were to just, I don't know, I remember being like 12 or 13 and specifically like putting that movie in and playing that with my friend. She had told, I don't know how we came across that, but we were looking for it. And yeah, that's how I knew that. But I was thinking about it. I don't think I would have been like, oh, Aladdin said that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So
I don't know.
there's a little confusion on the origin of how this got exposed or whatever, but because this is a rumor that has now spiraled, and like supposedly it was originally a 4-year-old that noticed it and said it to the parent, who was mortified, and then this went on this whole thing.
No way. That's where it becomes unbelievable.
Well, so there's now variations on that. And at one point, there's a Christian movie guide called, are you ready for it? Movie Guide. Movie Guide still publishes today. And it, I hate this so much. It had alerted its readers about a rumor under the headline Aladdin Exposed, which, to be clear, is not a penis showing, as you might have taken it from the previous thing, but it retracted the piece because Disney complained, and then they put out like a kinder thing where they're just like, Aladdin is a great movie. So the retraction naturally stopped nothing, because now the rumor had already made its way into what group of people? The Christian group of people. So Christian networks, especially in the South, they were convinced that Disney's renaissance, so to speak, in the 90s was secretly corrupting children. Yeah.
I remember this.
So,
I remember being in church and being told that we weren't allowed to watch Aladdin, and being like, my family watches Aladdin. What are these kids doing?
Dude, that is wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's around the time we stopped going to church.
Yeah. I think we stopped going to church when I was like 10 or 11, too. Whatever. Yeah.
I distinctly remember my dad standing up and going, I won't stand for this. Let's get out of here. First thing we're doing is watching Aladdin.
That Jafar. He's hilarious.
Have you seen the new Disney Bona picture? Got a lot of bonus.
Called Dickin' Down with Disney.
I was just sorting.
It's called Frozen.
I was just sorting my movie collection, and I had to rearrange a whole Disney section called Bonus.
Yeah.
Look under B for the Boner collection. So there was this whole finding, basically, that all these Christian rumors are spiraling and perpetuating this as a thing. But each time it's like these vague kind of references, like this word of mouth thing. Like, I heard that the pastor in this small town in Iowa found that the 16-year-old at the church had just watched it. No, my ears. And then, everyone's mortified, and then it keeps going. And to quote one person, one mother put it, quote, as if I had entrusted my kids to pedophiles.
Just think of Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah.
The baby looked at me, and then I saw the baby.
Dude, I mean, to be clear, I mean, like, I'm not a religious person at all, but to be clear, these particular Christian groups are the borderline cult groups and the extremists. We should, I guess, mention that. But it's because who else is giving a shit about a Christian movie guide called Movie Guide? Also, zero creativity in that name.
It's ungodly to be creative, though.
But I mean, like, it also just doesn't,
You must be using the marijuanas. Yeah. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
it just doesn't, like, none of it make, like, what was the thing? I just gave my children to pedophiles. Like, that's the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, because sex might have been written in the sky in, like, The Lion King. Like, that is not the same thing as giving your child to a pedophile.
Well, I mean, it's
Like, what are you talking about?
Also, like, kind of like the dorkiest thing to write in the sky, too. It's not even
Yeah.
sex. It's such a, like...
Yeah.
You want to talk about giving your children to a pedophile? Let's talk about the church.
Yeah, exactly. Ironically, you did because you left him alone with that Catholic priest.
It kind of made me think of isn't it Almost Famous, where Frances McDormand is ranting on Simon and Garfunkel being a bad influence band, like to the kid. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but basically she's like, drugs. These guys are drug influencers and everything. It's like Simon and Garfunkel, the most tame of that group. But anyway, so now that we've said all that, what do y'all think? Is this just a coincidence? Is it just poor ADR? I mean, it's off camera and he's just ad-libbing supposedly things to the lion or tiger. I mean, we were just talking about lions, but the tiger, coming at him like he's going to eat him or something. So what do y'all think?
I don't even think it's poor ADR. It might just be poor sound mixing, I mean, or good sound mixing, whatever his goal was.
Right.
Yeah. If he was trying to do that and make it so that you couldn't really tell what it was. Good job. But also, if you wanted to be able to hear what Aladdin is actually saying, maybe you didn't, do a great job on that part.
It's definitely, it's not clear what he's saying. It's very muddied.
Right.
What if I told y'all that there's been scientific research that saying good teenagers take their clothes off is actually how you get a tiger to stop coming at you?
I love Aladdin, dude. That's all I'll say. Disney.
The tiger.
Good.
Yeah. The tiger also becomes your best friend.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of big cat talk.
Yeah.
Aladdin fucking rules is the point. I don't care. I don't care what he said.
I don't care either. And I also think that I also think it's just bullshit. Like the risks do not they just, I don't know, man. No.
I mean, Disney is a gigantic corporation and everything. I mean, the fact that these things can make it that far through the process and get to the final cut or the final poster or whatever. It's astounding if any of this is real. But like I said, I have found at least 22 accusations, and not sorry to make maybe a poor reference, but it's sort of a Bill Cosby scenario where the first woman comes forward and you're like, come on, lady, that's Dr. Huxtable. Like, he's a wholesome man and everything. And then 20 women, you're going, sorry, Bill, this is not looking good.
Yeah.
Or what's the Chappelle? But I love chocolate ice cream. Anyway.
Pudding pop.
Yeah.
I would take a look inside, Disney company culture and just you'd probably have to work there for a while, but somebody will eventually come up to you and be like, all right, this is how we do things around here.
Yeah.
You have to come up with a thing. For the next
Can you
movie.
draw a penis?
Right. If you get away with it, it'll be gold, and you'll be king of the.
You'll be a legend.
You'll be a legend. If you don't,
but that
we never had this conversation.
right.
I wonder what the Disney adults think of this. If they like it and are like, no, that rules.
Yeah.
Or
They're
if they're like, absolutely not. That is bullshit. Disney would never do me dirty like that. I don't know.
So moving on to the third and final part of our Disney hidden messages segment, we are going to the Lion King, and I got a 4-panel reference I was able to find where one, they literally spelled it out for us. But when Simba is all down in the dumps and his dad is talking from the heavens, there's the smoke is dissipating, or the cloud is dissipating that was his dad cloud. I don't know how to explain it any better. And
starry particles.
Yeah, his starry particles. And yeah, that's better. But,
I like Dad Cloud.
Could you get a whiff of that dad cloud earlier?
Tell you what, it certainly is 420. So supposedly, as it's dissipating, it says sex in the clouds. Now, this one is very interesting to me because of what we have presented today. If there was any merit to any of it, I feel like this one has the most merit. But we'll get into y'all's opinions once we get a little more here. So who wants to read that little snippet there?
Okay. Sorry.
Could you yawn though while reading?
Yeah. Sustain your yawn for 20 seconds while you read it.
That'd be great.
I don't know. Maybe Chris does. He's great at reading.
I don't read too good.
All right. Okay. The story gained notoriety, the sex in the clouds, Dad Cloud, after The Lion King's release when it was seized upon by American Life League, ALL, an anti-abortion organization.
Shocking.
All ALL, god damn it, was alerted to the alleged message
The
by
all-edged message. Sorry, go ahead.
by a woman from New York whose 4-year-old son had apparently spotted the word while watching the film. Ugh.
Yet another child.
The group was already boycotting Disney movies by that point because of the film Priest, but it called on the Mouse House to apologize for what it deemed inappropriate sexual messaging in a number of its films, including The Lion King, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid. Disney refuted the claim, but it hasn't stopped the idea of the word sex appearing in The Lion King from passing into legend.
When did 4-year-olds become like the legitimate resource for this information? Like the 4-year-old found the Aladdin thing too. Like,
I mean, I tell you what,
Also, your
my
doesn't
kids
know how to spell yet.
Yeah,
So,
right.
like,
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I know 4-year-olds and they don't know that shit.
Well, I tell you what,
Sorry.
my children, they love their Bible, and they don't know the S word, but they certainly know the begat word, and they didn't have any problem with this movie because they just didn't know what the S word was yet. So Disney, I couldn't find that like a quote of it, but I just know this from reading along the way with this. Disney's excuse for this was that it actually says SFX. And it's an homage to the special effects in an animation. So I find that to be a little weird. But it's such a brief moment as the, what'd you say, dad particles are dissipating, that you just, it's split second that you see it. So again, this is an animator related thing if it's true. And that's what we're here to debate. And of course, it's yet another Christian group that what are you supposed to be this angry and be Christian? I mean, doesn't that go again? Anyway,
Nah.
so much anger. Just I don't.
It's really not.
And then
More about
claiming
community and
claiming your 4-year-olds are this fucking savvy. I mean,
yeah,
only about penises though.
yeah.
yeah. Or spelling adult words.
Again, the SFX thing, like, sure, that makes sense. I don't really think it looks like shit. I guess I can kind of see sex. And also, again, like I said before, what a dorky thing to throw in.
Well, it's also
Sex. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
take
kinda-
fucking, yeah, so it's not even, you know what, just have a penis flying by at that
Yeah.
point. Sex, that's, I just, yeah. I think
I mean, you want to know
it's
what's
lame.
offensive is making an African tale. And no offense, I love Matthew Broderick, but you put in all these white actors, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, followed by Matthew Broderick, and then get a black child to do the singing. That's not offensive, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
But I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, like, is like Zoe, you mentioned that, like, sure, you can kind of make it out. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think?
I first of all don't see it at all, and then think that everybody needs to get a fucking life. And then I mean, like, if let's say that they did, let's say it was intentional that they wanted to have sex written in the clouds, like, who gives a shit? Like, it's a word. I mean, like, but I mean, I don't think from what I'm looking at right here, I don't see it at all. This is so fucking stupid, and it's a total conspiracy that's just dumb.
I got to be honest.
And then like everyone just needs to get a life.
That fourth panel almost looks like Arabic. Like,
I mean, sure, sure.
I would actually appreciate if they were able to animate this stuff dissipating and get multiple languages in as it dissipates. See, that would be impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know. Frankly, Simba lying there, all sad, looks like a weirdly shaped penis. So
Yeah.
what about that?
Hey, you know what? Maybe his dad was trying to cheer him up.
I mean, it's
You
like
know?
we can play this game, and we can.
Yeah.
Like, this is basically just like when you look at the clouds, what do you see? You know what I mean? But like that's all that this is, and it's wacky.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's what do you see when you look at that cloud and everybody sees something different.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly,
But then when you put a news article out,
yeah,
that says sex, that everybody sees sex.
it's going back to the dick in the castle. It's certainly like once it's been suggested, then you're going, yeah, I can see it, and apparently it's circumcised.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's weird to say the least. And like at some point we're going to do another 3 and so on and so forth. And we can continue this debate. But I think, I mean, I'm in agreement with y'all. I think at least based on these 3, it's a little, it's a bit of a stretch. Why go through the effort? I agree with y'all. It's just, it's a lot of effort for not
It's
a
a
reward.
lot of effort for I don't even know what. I don't know what you
what end?
gain
Yeah.
from doing this at all. It doesn't make any sense.
Also, that being said, Lion King rules, y'all.
Yeah.
What?
It does.
Oh,
It does.
You know what?
It does.
I can tell you something else.
Scar?
Something else I know about The Lion King. It's the highest grossing of the Disney franchises if you include like, all of it, like the Disney on Ice and everything, whatever, the merchandise.
Oh, sure. They did do
So
that.
if you take it all together and just say Lion King, it's their biggest moneymaker. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because Disney blatantly stole this story from a Japanese tale that's actually about a tiger, and it is a direct ripoff from a Japanese tale. And the man is now dead that had the original story, but the family never got compensated for this, and they have not gotten a pittance of what has been made off of this. And
Oh, well, that's a drag.
being that they're nice people, they've said, we've just been happy that so much joy has been brought from the story.
Wow.
Such a
God,
Japanese
fuck, that makes me
thing.
sad as shit.
And it's like,
Makes me hate Disney so fucking.
I know.
but it also
Doesn't that make you angry?
Yeah, it also does like make me like the story more. I'm like, oh, cool, but also fuck.
Man.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick, just so
Then
somebody wants
actually
to go.
now knowing that, I totally see sex in there. But furthermore,
Yeah, it's in
I
there.
see I love Hitler in there. I can see that very clearly.
Yeah,
The English translation of it is called Kimba the White Lion. But
Kimba.
Kimba.
They changed one letter in the name.
Yeah, they did not try that hard.
I mean,
they did not try.
Sorry, you didn't think Disney was original, did you? Like, there's not a lot of creativity. I mean, they do technically take stories that already exist from all over. It's just usually they go after like, what am I trying to think of?
I don't know,
The
Cinderella.
Grimm fairy tales or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
like basically no one's going to sue you over.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kimba the White Lion, anyone's welcome to go look it up and you will hate Disney somehow more. Meanwhile, my children love Disney, and all through the strikes is the one thing I couldn't cut the cord on because God damn you, Disney.
Jared was literally just telling me the same thing today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Jared Swedinsky.
Yeah, and also we need Jared to sign a release if it's going to be your picture. If you're listening, Jared.
There's some okay Disney ones,
Oh yeah.
Aladdin.
I mean,
Talking about the live action one, right?
Oh God! Oh, gee, that was the only time I've actually tried to watch a live action Disney movie, and it's the worst.
Yeah, I
it's
couldn't
the
do
worst.
we're going to get
It's horrible.
You want to Okay.
It's horrible.
Idea.
This is
And also, the Lion King live action. It's not live action. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah.
What do you?
No, it's this stuff is so infuriating because it's such a money grab because they're going like, and we're doing it shot for shot. So
Why?
nothing original. It's worse than Gus Van Sant redoing Psycho shot for shot. What was the point? Like,
Why are we doing this?
you made an inferior carbon copy. Like, what's the point? It's
Okay.
a money grab.
Yep.
Well, maybe not Gus Van Sant, but Disney is definitely doing money grabs. Like, what, The Jungle Book was the first one, and you're like, yeah, all right, I'm buying into this. That's different. And then some executive's light bulb went off and goes, oh, you know what? We could just keep doing these and make more money. And everyone goes, give that man another story on his house. I don't know.
Yeah.
Enough about Disney for today. we're going to close this out with what we at least try to do and tell little fun stories from our work world. But I know some people have been slacking. Joe hasn't even been here to piggyback on, or for you to piggyback on.
I know he's not here to piggyback.
He owes you a story.
He does. Yes.
So anyone want to volunteer? No?
I'm having to think. You can cut out all the time of me thinking.
Okay. Well, I'll go with, because Chris mentioned a business card when we were recording the previous episode, and I did a Jessica Simpson movie in post-Katrina Shreveport, and that's all the information I'm going to give for you to figure it out. But there was a moment where they wanted her to be catching a fish in a river, and then a cutaway to her serving it up as sashimi. And I was told to go to this very particular man and get some fish. And I was given a business card that said Fish and Coon Man. It had a picture of a drawing of a fish and a phone number. That's all that was on it. White business card with black lettering. And that should have been a foreshadow, because when I went to go get the fish, I met, and I should say downtown Shreveport was in plain view where I was, but it felt like I was miles into the country, because I got to this Deliverance kind of looking scenario, and a man in overalls goes, "You the movie guy?" And I'm just a PA at this time and in the art department. And I was like, "I'm here to get the fish." And he goes, "How many you need?" And I was like, "I think 6 should do." And then he has a big basket net in the water of the tributary coming off the Red River that's right outside of downtown. And I watch as he bare hands catfish out of this basket and just tosses them up onto land where they're flopping around. And then I watch one by one as he beats them against a tree and throws them in the cooler I was told to bring.
Like Gollum.
And exactly like Gollum. Oh my God, I've never made that connection. Oh, that's okay. Well,
There you go.
that just added a layer. So to make it extra creepy, there were 6 other middle-aged to elderly men also in overalls and things, a lot of oshkosh bagosh going on. And they all just silently watched while this guy did his thing. And I paid him in cash, and I went back horrified. And someone was with me. I'm just keeping them nameless because I don't have their permission. But we were equally mortified, and we got back and said, "We have the fish." And then I had to go to a market to get sushi grade tuna. And just to be clear for anyone that doesn't know anything about fish, a catfish and a tuna don't have any kind of meat resemblance. So a hilarious thing is, on the one hand, you see Jessica with a quote unquote fish coming out of a little creek. And then the next take is a little cutting board with what is clearly tuna. And I don't know if that film, because I refuse to see things like that, but I don't know if it had a no animals were harmed. But if there's someone with PETA listening, you're more than welcome to go after them. I'll give you one more clue. They're not in this country anymore because they're tax evading. So good luck finding them. And that is, I had forgotten about that. But when you were describing that business card, I was like, why is that so familiar? And I was like, I did not need that to come back. That's like a bad burp.
I'm glad I put that in your brain.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks. That's what Chris does.
Yeah. Yeah. Sex.
No, wait, it says that's effects, man. Have you seen the special effects in The Lion King?
Penis spider.
Next thing you're going to tell me it's a penis castle in The Little Mermaid.
Dicks. Right. Sorry.
Who wants to go next?
Oh, gosh.
I got a little something.
Yeah.
It's short and it's stupid.
That's what we
I
want.
just think it's funny.
That's what I love.
No one's around. I don't have any cool celebrities or any cool Gollum people. Fucking.
I'm sorry.
Smash it. Doing fish murder.
But
You can argue if I mention any celebrities or not.
so NCIS.
Colon, New
I was in a
Orleans.
lockup. It was PA, and it was the lockup was like in the set deck warehouse.
Okay.
You know, and there's a skateboard there, and I'm bored. I'm not doing shit. And I've never been on a skateboard in my fucking life. But I was like, I can ride that. Just got a real big boost of confidence.
I was going to say, that's some serious confidence.
I'm cool. I'm a cool girl. I'm young and hip. And I got on and I immediately ate shit. I fell right on my fucking ass and it hurt. Concrete in there.
Oh, yeah. Slab floor.
I was so embarrassed and nobody saw. And I got up and was like, okay. And then acted like nothing happened. And I think about that often. I think about how I fell right on my ass. It was alarming. The skateboard like jutted out on down this long hallway.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good way to hurt your coccyx.
Shaking. I was fucking shaking and stood up. Nothing.
Yeah.
I can't skateboard. I don't think I can do that. And then moved
You can
on.
now confirm.
I really, really thought that I could jump on that thing and be Mr. Cool.
Yeah.
Just nope, I can't.
We should be
So I
clear
don't
that
do
even
of course.
if you could skateboard, I would not trust a skateboard laying around a set deck warehouse to save my
no
life.
shit.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it could have had a rusted locked wheels on it or whatever.
yeah.
Like, I would not have tried just to flippantly go like, I can ride a skateboard.
Breaks. Doesn't Homer Simpson at one point jump on a skateboard and it breaks? That's kind of what I.
Oh, he goes down the ravine or what's the
on a skateboard? No, there's
Springfield
one where he
Gorge.
just gets on a skateboard and it just breaks.
Oh, yes, I think that you're right about that as well.
I don't know.
I mean, you're not by any means Homer Simpson size or weight,
I thought of
and you're also not fictional.
Well, whatever. The point is, that's my funny story.
I think it's a funny story.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
this is not funny at all whatsoever.
Which means it's going to be.
No, it's really just not funny. But when you said
Tearjerker.
when you said you were bored and then there was a skateboard, I've got the worst marketing campaign for skateboards ever.
Bored?
And it's just bored? Skateboard. And then it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
you get it.
A rock song.
Try
that
a
was what that was
skateboard.
supposed to be. Yeah.
I mean, that's an infamous Norm Macdonald on Conan because I can't, I'm blanking on the actress's name from Melrose Place, the blonde, but she was promoting a movie that she was promoting something else, but she mentioned that she was in a movie with Carrot Top, and Norm Macdonald was sitting on the sofa at this point. He'd moved over, but he said, Conan said, "What's it called?" And she said, "Chairman of the board." And then Conan said, "Do something with that, you freak," because Norm interjects, constantly. And so he goes, "I bet bored is spelled Bored." It's a great clip. Y'all should look it up.
That's good.
That's good. That's good.
So I don't know. I just keep thinking of
Penises.
lions and penises.
Lions and penises.
Neither of which I've had any onset experience with. Yeah, you guys ever seen a lion penis?
I never have.
No, but I believe it was on NCIS that wasn't that towards the end of the series that we were in a horse stable and there was a ridiculous setup for like a wine or a wet bar. And so, because I remember we had to have an absurd decanter there because, you drink fancy alcohols in a horse stable. Mm-hmm. But if I remember correctly, there was something about the horse. Are you remembering what I'm...
I don't remember.
You
but
block out so much.
I do. I don't remember.
I believe, if I recall this correctly, I believe the horse was Randy,
Yeah, I could see that.
and there was some issues with filming because of it.
So this happened a lot on Magnificent Seven, where a horse would just get a big old horse boner, guys, and you couldn't really put that on camera, so you just have to wait for that horse boner to go away.
That's I think what was the problem.
Yeah, and then so
Can't shoot around that. Have you ever seen a horse cock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then so
Cross the room and it's in your fucking face.
and then what we did,
It's oppressive. It's just
yeah, because we're very juvenile people.
We are.
We would always, when we'd have to not film because a horse had a giant boner, we would then take a picture and we'd send it to one another, and that's what happens. I'm looking for it right now on my phone.
I got
I know
it.
you guys can't see it, but I'm looking for the.
I just thought you were disinterested. Fuck.
At some point, I need to post the GIF that you eternally send me. I can't be the sole recipient of that,
You
right?
pretty much are, though.
Oh,
man.
wow. That's
You
amazing.
really
I
are.
should be flattered.
You should.
Chris has his favorite gift to send to me, and it's under a wide variety of situations where if we're working on the same show and I owe him an out sheet for the evening and I haven't sent it yet, he'll send me that. If I ask him a question in general, he'll probably send me that, which I usually take as a yes. But
It could be a yes or a no.
I know.
Or a maybe.
And it's pretty much two primates, one turning around to the other one and putting its finger in its butt. I mean, that's more or less what it is.
I think it's a very effective conveyor of my thoughts.
What kind of primate is that?
I think it's a baboon.
It's a baboon. Yeah, that feels right. At some point, I feel like that should be. You know what? That should be your picture on the website.
Love it. Perfect.
Sold.
Great.
Now, now you and Joe owe biographies, but other than that,
Oh, I do got to do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
we're on record now.
Yeah. It's only been a few months. Sorry.
It's okay. At the rate that we're trying to catch everything up, it'll be between seasons where that happens. So if someone finds us by the time season 2 is happening, everything should be caught up looking great.
Nice.
But if you are listening to this as it releases, I apologize. We'll get there. Let's see. Anything else besides how much Disney sucks and Christian cults suck? Anything else?
Aladdin rules.
Iger drools.
I'm just gonna be like just detective eyes on any movie, on any Disney movie now. Just where's the dicks? Where it's gotta be in there somewhere.
You watch a lot of Disney?
I don't. No, that wasn't even I was gonna say I watched Aquaman the other. That's not Disney though. I don't remember the last
Cartoon,
Disney.
classic Disney.
No, I'm talking new. I want to see it in new movies.
Oh no, they don't do that no more.
Why not?
They take out the dicks.
Seems
now.
like easier now.
They take them out, right? Didn't they do that to someone? Some water fish boy. They
digitally castrate them.
Yeah,
That's too
it
bad.
was too much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Whatever.
Speaking of whatever, Zoe, I feel like you have something to say.
Oh, yeah. We want to hear from you, the audience. Do you have a behind the scenes story? Maybe you work in the industry, or maybe you had a run in with production. You know, you live in New Orleans, New York, whatever, and some PA stopped you on the way to work and it was annoying. We want to hear about it. We want to hear about all of it. We love all the stories. Write us and maybe we'll read it on the show. Or maybe you just want to tell us that you love us or you really hate us and you want to fact check us because we're wrong about a lot of things. You can troll us, whatever you want to do. You might even want to guess where Joe or Chris are on any given day of the week. You can do that by emailing us at filmfolklorepodcast@gmail.com. It's filmfolklorepodcast@gmail.com. We do indeed want to hear from you. You can also find us on the social media. Instagram is Film Folklore Podcast. Facebook group is Film Folklore. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, @The Film Folk. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. We really want to hear from you. It's very important to us. Again, we work in the entertainment business, so we need a lot of validation. We're very pathetic, sad people, and we really want to be reviewed. We want to know your honest opinion, and it means a lot to us, because you guys mean a lot to us. And for any of you that really like us and have some change burning holes in your pockets and just any money at all, like a credit card, we set up a donation with PayPal and Patreon. Links are in the show notes of this episode and our website. Money helps us do more fun things, and we want to entertain you. Money helps you do more fun things, which helps us do more fun things, which is also helping you have fun, and it would be really nice and we love you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Where am I headed?